As far as I can see, this is heaven, and speaking just for me.
Hi everyone, John Charles with you. We're here to discuss easy listening records that have been uploaded onto Moody Mood Music recently, and let's get started. First up, this music is called, there's a name for this kind of music. It's called champagne music. I don't know if you've ever heard of that or not. I certainly have, but that term was coined in 1938 to be exact, and it almost immediately was applied to the artist Lawrence Welk, who you all may know from having a television show for many, many years that many of you had to endure as your parents or grandparents listened to it. Champagne music was very light, bubbly, like champagne, dance music, waltzes and polkas and foxtrots, known for sticking to the melody and not doing extravagant kind of arrangements. So this album here is not Lawrence Welk, but it's definitely champagne music. Kind of sounds like Lawrence Welk. It's called Pink Champagne for Dancing by Lloyd and the Starlight Roof Orchestra on Omega Records. It's from 1962. Lovely. We do love the cover, don't we? And it is what it is, you know? The Happy Whistler, Pizzicato Polka, Beer Barrel Polka, Tea for Two. Very typical champagne music, kind of dancing into the night music. Here's something a little different. Do you like Greek music? I do like Greek music. This album from 1967, particularly nice. The Greek sound, the great instrumental music of Mikis Theodorakis, who you may know from having written the very famous Zorba the Greek theme. Popularized by Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass and many others, and very much a standard. Representing, I don't know, I'm not any kind of a knowledgeable about Greek music, but in my mind, there's two kinds of Greek music. There's the Middle Eastern type of, almost like belly dancing type of music, which is Greek. And then there's this bouzouki, did they pronounce it? The guitar, a very sweet, pretty, almost syrupy sweet, sometimes lively music that I personally love that. And that kind of sweet Greek music was popularized by a lot of easy listening artists in the 60s and 70s, like James Last, Roberto Delgado, many others who did sort of Greek-inspired or actual Greek tunes with their easy listening arrangements, but with the bouzouki. I love that stuff. This is kind of in that vein. Of course, this is an actual Greek composer with Greek songs, but it is in that kind of sweet, for the most part, style, and very appealing to me personally. an odd album. I'm not, I don't know. Sometimes you come across albums and you're like, what's the point? Like, I don't know. This is a Orion label, a smaller label, out of Evanston, Illinois. It's called Think Jazz Gus, is what it's actually called. Jazz Dances by Gus Giordano. Music performed by Bobby Christian and his orchestra. So what this is, it's only 9 selections on it. About half of them are kind of polite jazz arrangements of some popular tunes. Chicago, Make Someone Happy, a flower drum song medley. And then the other half are drumming pieces. There's no song, it's just different kind of patterns of drumming, listenable. I guess the idea, Gus Giordano was a dance instructor, choreographer, innovative in the American jazz scene, and he has had a few records out like this, similar, in vein to this, where he did, I don't know exactly what on these records. As a choreographer, I don't know exactly what he did. He is listed as the composer of the drum pieces, but not the other songs. I mean, obviously there's something you could have choreographed a jazz dance to, but I don't know about, you can't, it is listenable, it's just kind of odd. Bobby Christian and his orchestra you might have heard of because of their rather, nowadays, I don't know that it was at the time, but I think nowadays in the space age lounge music circles, his album Strings for a Space Age, yeah, was rather sought after. You can, I do have that, and you can hear selections from Strings for a Space Age also on Moody Mood Music, in addition to selections from Think Jazz Gus.
Well, hello there. If you haven't already enjoyed the beautiful champagne music on Moody Mood Music on Live365.com, please click on the link below and join us there for some of the most bubbling, sparkling music this side of Manhattan. Oh, what do they call it? So many different names. You may not have been around when this music was popular. Beautiful music, easy listening music, middle of the road music, even Muzak sometimes people call it. Technically, I guess that was a company, but they're no longer around. Anyway, won't you join me on Moody Mood Music for vintage vinyl recordings from decades past? Join us in some of the bubbly champagne here, and also maybe you can help me get my eyelash glue unstuck. I don't know. Just click on the link below or go to live365.com and tune in to Moody Mood Music.
Up next, a couple of albums that I don't think I've ever really talked about or highlighted this format, if you will. But these are quadraphonic discs rather than mono or stereo. I have 2 of them here. A Hugo Montenegro one and a Leon Grand Orchestra one. Now, if you are not familiar with this, which is, 2026, it's entirely possible that our viewers who do not know what quadraphonic is, right? I mean, they don't know. Records, all of them initially were monaural or mono, one channel, one speaker. Everything was in that one channel. Then at some point in the 50s, they had the ability to do stereo, which is two channels, two speakers. So you could put a speaker over here and a speaker over here, boom. We know this today because, like, if you're listening on earbuds or headphones or whatever, it's like one channel over here, a different channel over there. They're not the same. Stereo. Well, then in the 70s, they had the ability to create quadraphonic, which is 4 channels. Like a flight attendant. 2 forward and 2 back. Each channel would be different. Can I say it was a flop? I think it was a flop. I think I'm safe to say it was really an unsuccessful format change. Because all of the record labels not the record labels, the equipment producers weren't using exactly the same technology, and they kind of had, some of them had this kind of a system for making it quadraphonic. Some people had this kind of a system for making it quadraphonic, and they weren't compatible. And if you had a stereo, in order to go quadraphonic, you couldn't just plug in 2 more speakers and it would be quadraphonic. You had to get like a different piece of equipment. We're not going to get real technical here, but like amplifiers or whatever. You had to get different pieces of equipment in order to make it, the 4 channels separate. Expensive to do. A little more complicated because there were rules about where the speakers should be in order for this to work out. And of course, it was more expensive to produce quadraphonic records. And eventually, it just didn't really take off. Some people, did get into it. My grandfather, who was a bit of rather an audiophile, never did go quadraphonic. He had 4 speakers, but it was stereo. He didn't get all the new equipment and all that. He just had 4, speakers. And I think that's what happened with a lot of people. They just weren't going to invest in it. Stereo was just fine. So quadraphonic by the late 70s sort of faded away to the sunset, never to be heard from again until surround sound became a thing. I don't know exactly what surround sound is, how many channels that is, or whatever. I don't know, but I guess you could call it the child of quadraphonic. I don't know. But didn't really become a thing for music at home. Anyway, these 2 albums came out in that time of quadraphonic sound, and they were in quad. Important to note with quadraphonic, they did have the common sense to always make quadraphonic records compatible with stereo. So you could sell a quadraphonic record, but if you just had a stereo system, it would play just fine in stereo. Not in quadraphonic, obviously, but in stereo. This one's nice. Hugo Montenegro, with a very long title, Montenegro Films. Yeah, Montenegro Films, like that was an entity, presents Scenes and Themes, Love Licks from the Golden Flicks. I believe this is Lost Horizon on the cover here. Quadraphonic, 1973 Japanese record, also released in the United States though, and nice arrangements. What I love about this one, there is some, it's not a theremin, because we're kind of past to that in 73, but it's like a synthesizer, electronic sounds, and wordless female woven in and out of some of the selections on this album, and we love that. And this other one, Aquarius, musical hit tunes. by the Leon Grand Orchestra, 1970. This was recorded in, but this is like a reissue or something, done in 72, I believe. Yeah, that Vanguard Recording Society did. And interesting is that they put inner sleeve. We don't talk about inner sleeves much, but sometimes they're fascinating. Their inner sleeve for Vanguard had this whole explanation of what quadraphonic sound was, in addition to their quadraphonic releases, but I don't think they did an awful lot of them. But again, this also is a nice album, some kind of unique orchestral arrangements here. I like it. Here's an album from Holland featuring the group Brass United, classics in brass. You might think, 1972, you might think it's a Tijuana sound-alike album, like trying to be the Tijuana Brass, which was sort of a thing at the time, but it's not. Brass United is like a legit group of horn players of various kinds who did release three or four albums. This is one of them. Classics in brass, obviously here. These are just pop-like arrangements of classical themes, pretty much all of which you would recognize when you heard them, even if you didn't know what theme they were or what classical piece they had come from. So I always enjoy kind of pop classical adaptations.
To save my love for you, I never gave my love
I'm showing this record, I mean the music, I think we don't need to talk about Andrei Kostelanetz, very well-known conductor. I just came across this recently and it was curious to me. It's in lovely condition. It's not it's not thin like an inner sleeve, but it's not as thick as a normal outer jacket would be in a record. This is Andre Kostelanetz plays the world's most beautiful music. These are all like previously recorded songs from him. There's nothing new on here, although this came out in 1985. It's on the Reader's Digest CBS Special Products label. So to me, it's a bit of a mystery why I'm talking about it on the program. Just because I don't know what this was. Like, I don't know. Would this have been a freebie that came with one of the box sets? Could this be part of a box set where there may be like several? I do have a Henry Mancini one, same thing as this, exact same thing as this. Does anybody know? I don't know. I don't seem to have any information. It just says manufactured, especially for Reader's Digest by CBS Special Products. So I don't know what this was.
Round and round it goes, endless love, more and more it grows, and I'm caught in the circle.
Yeah, I couldn't resist this one. Happy Time is a children's music label. This is, I guess, a children's record. Kiddie, a Go-Go. But is it really? Kiddie, a Go-Go, nursery rhymes with the teen dance beat of today. From 1966. Is that really a kid's record? I mean, it is exactly what it says it is. Instrumentals. The group is not credited on the jacket, but on the label it's the Moppets. And that's, your guess is as good as mine. This is a budget label, kind of, so who were the Moppets? No idea. Instrumental group, they list the dances like the Watusi, the Cha-Cha, and then they tell you what nursery rhyme it is. On top of Old Smoky, we have Old MacDonald Had a Farm, Row, Row, Row Your Boat, the Hokey Pokey. And, you know, I think it's cute because it really is just sort of like 1960s sort of groovy instrumentals of these little kids' rhymes that we all know. So I'm in favor. I'm a fan. Guitar album by somebody I've never heard of called the Bruce Baxter Orchestra. Bruce Baxter, turns out, was a member of the Sputniks at some point, but he is a guitar player. Now this CD came out in 1997, but the music is actually all from an earlier album called, two albums called 50 smash hit guitar extravaganza by the Bruce Baxter Orchestra. It was 2 LPs. It was for 1977, and all of these songs are on that one. What I enjoyed, plus 25 more, 26 more. What I loved about this album is some of them are a little bit too hard rock. A little bit too hard rock instrumentals for me to have put on Moody Mood Music, but most of them were totally fine. This has Fernando, it's very 1977 songs that were popular. Don't Cry For Me, Argentina, Solitaire, love that song. If You Leave Me Now, these were nice, easy listening songs. A nice version of Summer of 42. But what cracked me up, or what I just had so much fun with, is there were some songs on here that I didn't recognize the title, and then it was playing. I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about this song. I haven't thought about this song since I probably last heard it, in 1977. A couple of those were Save Your Kisses for Me by the Brotherhood of Man. I thought it was by Tony Orlando and Dawn when I heard it. I'm like, isn't that Tony Orlando? But no. That actually won a Eurovision Song Contest, but when I was young, I didn't even know there was such a thing or what that was, but that was a hit in the United States. The other one, I Love to Love. I love to love, but my baby likes to dance. Da, da, da. I'd completely forgotten about that song. Tina Charles is the original artist on that, and that was a pop hit in the United States in the 70s, 75, 76. I'd completely forgotten about it until when I looked at the listings, and I'm thinking, what is I Love to Love? I don't know. But then the minute I heard it, I'm like, oh my gosh. I haven't heard that in a million years, and I love it. So I love when that happens. You hear like these easy listening renditions of songs you completely forgot about, but you totally remember when you begin to hear them.
What a lot of flowers, what a lot of magic, what a lot of music in the world.
Okay, that is it. That is season 5, episode 11. That's a wrap of the Cheap Lounge. Don't forget you can hear selections from these albums and hundreds more on my hobby radio station, Moody Mood Music. That'll be linked below. I don't make any money off of it. In fact, I pay a little bit to have that radio station, so nobody's trying to, hound you for money or anything there. You can enjoy that anytime. Just click on the link below. Let me know if you have any of these albums or songs or whatever, any memories associated with them. Just let me know. I look forward to hearing from you. You guys have a great rest of your day.